Hello, everybody. It's been a while. Approximately 13 months since the last part of Crash Twinsanity was uploaded.
Ah, yes, the old alma mater. As a former student myself, I'm well acquainted with the many secrets this institution holds.
But enough about schedule shenanigans. We're back to the playthrough. I'm actually, at the time of me recording this, tomorrow I'm recording parts 9 and 10 with Austin and Matt. We previously attempted to record the commentary for this part, but the project file was lost in yet another blue screen boot loop failure thing. But now my computer's doing just fine, and we're here to tackle Boiler Room Doom. Also, this was actually the last part I recorded because obviously I lost the file for Boiler Room Doom, video, audio, and all. As such, this is the final video of the playthrough, unfortunately, that's going to be in 60 frames per second, because the rest of the playthrough was recorded previously on the standard Elgato model, and I recorded this with the HD60 with the HD60S model I now have, and a video upscaler. It's a pretty neat one. Got it for 35 bucks from Blackweb. That's a brand.
I'm stuck! The greatest evil scientist in the world! Stuck in a pipe. How could things get any worse?
So, Boiler Room Doom. It's a neat level. Honestly, it's not like in my favorites list, but it's unique. Basically, for 80% of this level, you're pushing Cortex around in this pipe thing, and you're going to be spinning valves to make sure the tubes connect and he doesn't fall into the green sludge below. I've had it glitch out before to where he's like literally stuck in the middle of the tube. Luckily that didn't happen this recording session. I think one of my previous attempts at recording Boiler Room Doom a while back had that happen. But yeah, basically you're going to want to be on the lookout for blue little valve things that you got to spin into. Otherwise, if you miss them, Cortex is going to fall. Like right here, near these rat enemies returning from High Seas Hijinks. Which, that reminds me of a bonus video I might be showing off at the end. I haven't recorded it yet, but after the playthrough's done, I want to show off a pretty notorious glitch. I'll leave it at that and keep you in suspense. But yeah, Boiler Room Doom. It's a neat level, but nothing to really write home about. The boss, on the other hand, following the level, I can't tell you how many times I game overed to him on my first playthrough of this game 3 years ago. And you'll see what I'm talking about. I mean, I didn't die to him in this recording session, but when I first got this game, I wasn't the best at it. I'll just leave it at that. So here we are. Cortex is outside of the pipe, but spoiler warning, he's going to be returning to it in like 2 or 3 minutes. You don't have him back with you for very long. So, as Austin and I have shown, especially in the Iceberg Lab world, this is still a 100% playthrough. The final video of the playthrough won't necessarily be 100% because of all the technical difficulties we've had over the months, or more to put it more specifically, that I've had because of the multiple blue screen errors. But I do make sure that while we don't finish with a complete 100% save, we still show every gem on screen and how you obtain it. or the ways of obtaining it in the case of the fourth world, one of the fourth world's levels, but those can be kind of bullshit, so I eventually just cheese those. You'll see in when we get to the fourth world. Also, barring one part for the fourth world, none of these parts really, none of these remaining parts really go above 20 minutes. Whereas when we were recording live, I tended to keep them, you know, around the 20 to 25 minute mark. Again, particularly for Iceberg Lab, because we got a lot covered there. It's something I want to keep in mind and like start practicing for future live LPs, is probably just making where we divide them in the video itself. Like, still recording is one big session, but what we'd be doing is separating that big file into parts as we did, just make it verbally clear when the parts end and when they begin. Because there are times when I find a perfect time to cut and end the part, but we're in the middle of a tangent or something, and I feel weird cutting it off and like having the beginning of the next video start with it. Particularly with Matt's Sonic Adventure Let's Play that I'm currently editing at the time of me recording this. So yeah, I'm having to like improvise a bit there, but for future sessions after Sonic and Big's stories, because we recorded those two first, we'll probably just divide the parts on the spot, like I said. And these bug enemies are a complete non-issue, so don't worry about them, except I just got hit there because I'm a dope. I also take a few, like one or two cheap shots during the boss fight, but to be fair, I hadn't fought him in a super long time, and I forgot a couple parts of his strategy. I mean, I still beat him without dying. It's just, you know, those key parts almost either led or almost led to me getting hit. So there's that. And these Valve puzzles, I guess you can say, they're not too complex. So long as you don't see a bit of blue in the distance when you're ready to push the button for Cortex, you're golden. Something I may or may not have mentioned earlier in the playthrough is that almost every level in each world has like a pathway to it, and doesn't have to be accessed by just clearing a previous level. The two exceptions to this are obviously Cavern Catastrophe. You can't go there without beating Mecha Bandicoot, as well as Rooftop Rampage, which is the final level in Academy of Evil where we are now. You can't go there without beating Classroom Chaos. And you can't fight the boss there either, obviously, without doing it. Another, I guess, little update in regards to the channel. If you've been following my live streams, I apologize for not getting to session number 2 of Sonic Generations a little sooner. It's just schoolwork has been a bigger priority as of late. I do want to get back to streaming though, and I won't have it just be like one game per week. If I can squeeze in another stream, even if it's like a night one, other than Friday afternoons from like 1 to 2 Central Standard Time, I want to try doing that. Because it's relevant since Crash Twinsanity is on the screen, but the next game I have lined up to probably stream alongside Sonic Generations is the original Crash Bandicoot, which it'll be my first time actually playing, besides like the Insane Trilogy version. Specifically, I forget the name of the level, but it's the one they added and that they cut from the original. So yeah, Stormy Ascent, that's what it is. I've played Stormy Ascent in Insane Trilogy, but that's it for my experience with the original Crash Bandicoot. I've played a bit of 2, and I've played a lot of 3, but it'll be my first experience with the PS1 original. So that'll be fun. It's $6 on the PlayStation Network, and that is where I'll be playing it. And because it's the original game, I know there's no analog control. Also here, I'm just checking to see if if I have all the gems, which I do. So, moving with the D-pad in a three-directional environment. Sound familiar? It's not a good control choice in my honest opinion. But hey, this guy hasn't shown up for quite a while.
How's he, ain't it? Rumor is you two chumps have got your mitts in some treasure, and I want a piece of that pie.
I have no idea what you just said.
So here we have Dingodile, who, in my opinion, is the hardest boss in the game, but in no way am I saying that he's super duper challenging. I mean, yeah, he's hard the first time you fight him. I talked earlier about how I game over to this guy constantly my first time playing this. But it's because he has a distinction among other bosses in this game. He actually changes up his strategy. Our last boss fight against Entropy and Embryo did the exact same thing, all 3 hits. He didn't vary up the strategy at all, but here Dingodile's got fireballs he's shooting. He's going to bring out a firewall in, like, just a few moments. I almost messed up the timing there. But yeah, he's got the firewall. He's got the little fire line thing that he's bringing out now that you can just cheese by standing on top of these. They look like tombstones. But essentially what you're trying to do is get Dingodile to shoot him, body slam the button, and then spin into him. I waited too long on the first hit, and I took damage from Dingodile, but, you know, so long as you know what to do in this fight, it's not too terribly hard. The bosses in this game as a whole are generally pretty easy. And Dingodile is no exception. He's just distinctively the hardest to get used to his pattern. The 4th hit right here is he varies it up the most, because you see he's like raising and lowering the fire line. He's gonna bring out the firewall again right here, and watch out, because like after 10 or 15 seconds he's gonna switch it up on you and fire it from the other way like that. And up here, I forgot that he brought out the fireballs one last time, so I had a bit of a panicky moment. None of them hit me though, so I'm in I'm in good hands. There we go. The best timed body slam was the last one. They got the atmosphere pretty good in that fight. The music and, you know, generally Dingodile isn't much of a challenge, especially in Crash 3, like that was where he debuted. But yeah, we're coming up to the end of Part 8 here. I'll see you guys in Part 9. Austin and Matt will be back, so that'll be fun. Catch you later.